How are you doing, boys? How are you all doing? It's been a while since I told you anything about what's going on at Tahamlet's Badminton Club and what I've been up to. And I will give you a full lowdown of what I've been up to over the last year, and a lot has happened. And but before I do so, I wanted to tell you a few brilliant things that the club have been up to. Now, I told you at the outset that I'm out to change things, and change they will come. It's just a question of what shape and where it leads the club to. I want to tell you some brilliant stuff that the club have been up to. Um, I told you from the outset that these guys don't know what honor is, okay? And I want to tell you something about that. Um, so we had Abdul Muqtadir on one side. He just wanted to play his games. I mean, he knew about all these problems that I've been talking about. He knew about the community problems that I'm trying to deal with and trying to make people understand that these are things you don't do because everybody just does it. And people just do such things so blatantly, it's unbelievable. And you'll very soon get to hear one of these examples, and it's Tower Hamlets themselves. And also on the other side, my big brother, Bubble Hawk. Now, I don't know, I hope I don't come out with any explicits, but I have swear words in mind when it comes to talking about these guys. Now, in our community, we don't use swear words to talk to elders, so I hope I don't use any swear words to talk about Bubble Hawk, my big brother. But I would not hesitate to use the word if I have to when it comes to Shamim. So now, I told you, Shamim, all he was doing is that he just wanted to play his games. He knew about the problems of, not having enough people in the club, and he didn't have any great players to play with. So we started out years ago, about 12 years ago, by Shamim bringing along players from outside, not members in the club. They don't even come to the club to play. So they're not actually helping the club out in any way, shape, or form. They're just benefiting by playing in the leagues. So Shamim just takes along, come guys, let's go and play. Do I have to pay a session fee? No. Do I have to be a member? No. He comes along and he tells everybody, oh yeah, it's fine, because he was handling the payments from the people. Okay? Everybody knew that. Now on the other side, my big brother Bubble Hawk, he just wanted to make sure that he keeps his position. So he needed to keep Shamim happy. So he did. He just let Shamim do whatever he wanted. Now, not once did these guys ever tell me that they don't like what I'm saying. I asked my big brother 1,000 times, big brother, please tell me if you don't like what I'm doing here, if you don't like what I'm saying and how I'm trying to make sure that we retain and we hold on to some kind of dignity as a community, as a club. Tell me once, please, that I should just stop talking, and I will. He did not. Now, this man is the kind of liar that I did not believe that he was, okay? I did not believe it at the time, but now I know what a liar this man is. Now, Shamim, on the other hand, also the biggest liar that I can think of, because he told me all along that he didn't know anything about these things, and he was saying, yeah, what these guys are doing wrong. Now, towards the end, when I started talking about all of these and they started telling me to leave, I asked him a few questions, and I asked him, did he know, I actually found out that he was part of that committee, the 5 people who just went and registered the club under their names as if they own it. So anyway, I'll tell you a lot more about all of that another time, but here it is. So he just brought players in and played with those guys. It was embarrassing. Club members paying their fee, membership, session fee, and none of them being told how they get the opportunity to play in the league. It didn't matter how brilliant they were. It's whether our big brother Shamim said whether they can play or not. Okay, and I tried for years and years and years to get him to say, look, tell people, how do you decide how people play in the leagues? Okay, so people know what they have to work up towards. But now I know why I didn't do that. Okay, recently, so here he goes. He did that. He brought people in. So effectively, we were paying them, right? We were paying them by not charging them the session fee, by not charging them the membership fee. And then eventually, I told you how the club chucked a couple of people out, and they got into arguments. They went ahead and established something called Usmani, or Usmani was already established by a few other people who were disgruntled years ago, and then these guys went and joined them. So they then went over and started bringing people in, and they started paying them paying them more than what we paid by not charging them. Effectively, we paid them, but these guys went and paid them rackets, trainers, and possibly even food after every match. Yeah, that was clear. Everybody knew that. It is not something I'm just making up. So they paid them. Now, while I was at the club, there is no way that our club, our committee could have done the sort of things that they've done now. What they've done now is they went and hired people from outside to go and play in the league. Now, firstly, they want to show Usmani, we are better than you. See how brilliant players we are. We are true badminton warriors. Secondly, they want to go and win the league. Okay, they want to show we are the league winners. When you win the league, you get a trophy about this size. Okay. Now people play in the league because of the glory. When the league started, the primary reason people played in the league was to give the local groups here, group there, they call themselves clubs or whatever, to go and play each other, go know, find out about each other, play badminton, enjoy, and help develop grassroots badminton. And then, the counties would then establish local club leagues, and they would let them play. And eventually, if they got better, they would be chosen to play in the county leagues. All right. So you'd find ways of going up the ladder, becoming better players. These guys, all this time, they got a free session. They had no money. Nobody wanted to spend the time with the kids to develop the club. Where I came in about 10, 12 years ago when I found out about the problem, started developing. And in fact, from day one when I was there, people came to me and I helped them along. I spent too much time helping everybody else along and very little time for myself. Anyway, so 10, 12 years ago when I established a development program, because nobody else wanted to do it. I told you 1,000 times, and everybody here who's listening that know about this club know this. I started a development group. Okay, so the kids came in, and whenever I got the opportunity, I let them come and play. But we did training elsewhere, Ronald Ridge, and later on Chris Dakin and other people around that I could think of. We got the kids out there to play. They didn't want to spend the time. They didn't have the money to pay for a coach to come and do anything in the club. But primarily, they did not want to give away any time slot from the Saturday session Usmani Sports Hall to the kids. So I was pushing that along, and we would have done something. Now, as I told you, they did not want to do any of that. They did not want to pay the money. Here we are. Now that I'm gone, nobody to stop them doing this. They're paying players, England players, £200, £300 each player for each match that they're playing in the league this year. So yesterday, they've been so successful that they beat Paddocks 9-0. I mean, Tower Hamlets Badminton Club, Team 2. They beat Paddocks 9-0. What an achievement! All 6 players, I think, were England players, paid mercenaries. Last week, they had Team 1 playing Paddocks. Again, they beat them. I don't think it was 9-0, but they beat them. Again, mercenaries. Paid £200, £300 each player. So it's probably costing them £1,200 or so per match. Okay? Now, I don't know where they're getting that money from. And I don't know what it means to them, honestly, because I just don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Maybe one of you guys can explain this to me. What does it mean to them? Everybody who's watching this, they know how dishonorable this is. They know how wrong this is. They know how stupid this is. You've got the National Badminton League that have started up about 2 years ago. And again, it's the sort of thing I had input to. I was talking about all these things with everybody, and eventually, somebody came along and established the National Badminton League. Great. It doesn't matter who does it. You got something out there where professional players that could be hired by these clubs, just like the National Basketball League or football, FIFA, or whatever else. They have their own ways of developing true players and paying them in some way through the club systems, and the clubs make money from them. Now, badminton didn't have that. They've got this National Badminton League where the clubs now have an opportunity to develop a team and possibly even get sponsorship in the future and find some way of making some money out of it. Great. If you're going to spend the money, this is where you should be spending the money, not playing in the local club leagues where they have people who can barely hold their rackets. Now, Paddocks, they have their own players that have been playing there for the last 10, 15 years and have been winning, and they've developed organically. They've got loyal people who play in that club, and you could not pay them £1,000 per match to take them away from Paddocks because they're loyal. They know how they got there. That's what I tried to do years ago. So I just thought I'll share that with you, and I'll tell you in the next video where this club is going. Okay, what they've done so far is unbelievable. This is the way that Shamim and Bablul Haq took this club. Be proud of yourself, boys.